I think that many of us grow up with a very specific idea and path in mind. The path that is expected from you by society, which you constantly get reminded of. This happens mainly subconsciously without you even realizing it, because it's done when you're still growing up, and therefore you believe it's the only way. You need to get good grades in school, decide what you want to become later, get your degree, find a job, maybe work your way up or just stay at the same job, buy a house, marry, have kids and all that, and live happily ever after, right? I want to ask you a question. Are you happy in life? Do you live your life with passion and see it as an adventure? Now see, I don't have a problem with all this if you're happy, but if you're going through these steps as if you're a robot, just doing it because that's what you're supposed to do, I got something I want to share with you. Now before I do that, it's time to hit this workout. Let's go.
Jump in it first, call up the nurse, put the beat in the hearse. This is absurd, came to preserve. Don't get on the tracks, man, and they better swerve. Just casting these spells when I'm spelling these words. That's too real. I've been Roosevelt, I need a new.
So you guys haven't seen me on YouTube for a while. Well, maybe you've seen me, but I haven't shot a video in weeks. So the videos that I've released, like the last 2 ones, have been shot like over a month ago. I think something is very noticeable about me, which you guys have probably seen with a shirt on. It might have been the face, but don't let that fool you. There are some gains next to this extra chubby face as well, all right? So the bulk is real, been training friggin' hard, been indulging in a lot of friggin' food, right? But not in a bad way, but making use of that.
They don't know if the
Going
shoe
well.
fit. I gotta see through it, man. Won't be deluded with all these illusions. I know it's disputed. I gotta keep growing. They see what my root is. I tell you, I run this. I'm done with excuses. Give me for a minute, trying to get what I've been giving out. Do it for the tickets.
I've improvised a little bit today, guys, because this gym is super crowded, but at least got the main movements of the day done. Incline bench, making some crazy gains on the bench. I don't know if you guys remember how weak I was, during the show prep, but I ended up losing so much strength, so I have to regain it back now. Today was 95 for 8 reps. I did 2 sets of that, and then I got 6 reps. So getting back to the 100 kg on the incline bench. Can't wait for that. In pounds, it is 220, 25 pounds, I guess, 225. So yeah, guys, excited for this bulk. And I think you guys are excited too, because a lot of you have been commenting, we need the chubby meringue bag, so he's coming. He's already pretty much here. Going a little fast.
I think they gon' need a minute. Shot and got them people back up in their feelings. When they told me I was finished, bottom of the end and nothing Dr. Building. Yeah, the victor co-defendant, even Nike witness, we the next to kill it, show them the king how they live.
You see, a lot of people live their lives, as I just explained, like as a robot, just getting through the day and not finding joy and excitement in the things that you do, and not be curious about more, But how can you really be curious if everything is steady, if everything is always the same and there is nothing new? It's very hard to be curious when you're living life that way. And that's what happens when you have everything mapped out and you're just ticking the boxes, And when you're old, maybe this is a peaceful way of living, but when you're young, man, there's so much out there that you want to explore. I don't want to say that I'm an expert on this thing called life, but for me personally, I'm just sharing my experience. My life made a drastic change once I made a certain decision. So this story goes back to before I created the life of my dreams, and actually has nothing to do with it at all. But at the same time, it kind of does, I started realizing. This is when I was 17 years old. I just finished high school, and it was always a big dream of mine to move to the United States. For some reason, I've always had a love for it, the American dream, all that stuff. And I was kind of obsessed with that. So I started really thinking about doing that. But at the time, I was, living with my parents here. I had a girlfriend, all my friends were here. I have this, friend group that is very close. And if I would make that decision to go, which by the way, was a big opportunity, and I'm super blessed to be able, to go there and be in that position. Not everybody has such an opportunity, right? So that's something to keep in mind as well. But guys, it was still just a big decision to go, because if I would, then I was gonna leave everything behind here and take a step into the unknown, go somewhere completely different where I don't know anyone, you know, and here you're just like, you're in that comfort zone, you're in that comfort. Obviously having a girlfriend as well, that completely changed everything too, because I was gonna have to, you know, leave for like half a year, which is obviously, it's a very big decision. But at the end of the day, I decided, like, you know, to take that step, because you do want that personal growth. And if you're always stuck in this position here at home, you know, life is very long, like there's a lot of things to do. And if you're constantly just doing the same thing over and over and never taking a leap, doing something different, doing something crazy, that is very frightening. Because I remember being on the plane to the US when I decided to go, and just constantly doubting, man, like shit, like what is gonna happen if I get to this campus? I was gonna live on a campus, like I don't know anyone. What if my roommate is not like, should I really have done this? You start to, like, you know, come up with all these things, and you start to like really doubt. And then obviously when I was there and when I was settled and there were still a lot of insecurities, etc., it was the best choice I ever freaking made, because, you know, I threw myself in the deep, and finally I became my own person. I got to really know myself, and I put myself in, you know, a position of no comfort and had to build something completely new, which is the best thing you can possibly do, especially when you're young. What's up, Dad?
Hi.
Back to the place where it all started, guys.
Yes. Hi. How are you doing?
Check it out. What's that?
Yeah. Now you have to sleep straight instead of flat. Eh? You know?
And also the place where we are now really reflects the US lifestyle. My obsession. Check it out. So, many of you might remember this scene. This is where I started shooting YouTube videos, man. And I'm back here now. As you can see, guys, I've been living in Nijmegen, which is the city where I grew up, and moved into my own apartment about 3 years ago. Time really flies. And, you know, the last couple months, well, actually already for a year, I really wanted to go somewhere else, move to Haarlem. Big reason why is because it's a place where I've been a lot. You know, Willem lives there, so that's one of the reasons why I was there a lot as well, and got to know the city a bit. And I just think the vibe is really cool, and I know a couple more peeps there, and it's very, like, I want to be around Amsterdam. That is kind of like my next move. I want to buy a place, and the reason I want to be around there is mainly for business too. And the reason why Haarlem is because it's close to both Amsterdam, but also the airport. Like literally you're there in 10 minutes. So, you know, business-wise and all that, and for my future, that's a very good move, right? Close to the beach and the festivals too, so that's a bonus. And therefore, I really want to, you know, that was going to be my next step. Wanted that for like about a year now. And, you know, I've taken a little bit of action here and there, but I know myself, guys. I'm the type of person that, and I think most people are like this anyway, if you want to make a big change, you have to throw yourself in the deep. If you want something new, you have to, you know, really go for it. So last month, I'm a little bit extreme when it comes to this shit, right? So last month, I decided, you know what, I've been wanting to kind of like, you know, move there for about a year. It's not really happening. I'm going to cancel my apartment, and then I'm going to have to move out within 1 month. And then I have 1 month to find a new place. A couple of days ago, that is when the 1 month, well, the 1 month is finished today, literally. And a couple of days ago, I still didn't have a place, right? I went to a couple different, you know, bezichtiging, I don't know the English word, put it on the screen, to rent a place. First, I was going to buy a place, but that was way too hard. And like, I just want to go there. I want to kind of like see in which area I like, where I want to live. And then I'm going to buy a place. So first I'm going to rent. That's what I'm going to do now, and then buy a place. But renting is still very hard there too. You know, because there's a lot of people that want to go there. Like literally I went to like so many different ones, and there was always like 10 people that wanted the same place, and then I didn't get it. Maybe because I'm an entrepreneur, they rather have a family. Maybe because I'm young, they might think I'm a party and shit. I don't know, but they always chose someone else. So finally, a couple days ago, I got the word that I have a place, right? I already had in my mind, like, I'm gonna live with my parents now. You know, I'm gonna have to like move back, and it's a little like, it's a little bit of a step back in order to take 2 steps forward. But it is what it is, man. I decided to throw myself in the deep, see what happens, and then you guys see, man. It fucking happens. Like, literally, I had 1 month, and then, like, 2 days before the end of the month, I got a new place. So I'm super happy, super stoked. But I am still going to live here at my parents' place for a little bit. But everything is still in boxes, as you can see. Because this new apartment I'm going to move into is also completely new, like renovated and stuff. But it's not done yet. So when I was there, they were still finishing it. So I think it's going to be done on the 16th of March. My birthday is on the 13th of March as well. So it's going to be right when I turn 25. Moving to a new place. New city, new adventure. And this is also, again, just like, you know, when I went to the States. It's gonna be something totally new. You know, I do know some people there, etc. But I do have my life here. I have my base here. This is where I grew up. This is like, I know everything here. You know, I have like the friends here that I grew up with. Everything is in that comfort, right? But sometimes you have to like force yourself to get out of that comfort. And right now, I just really had that feeling that everything is too stable. It's getting too normal. Which is the opposite of the way that I live my life. You know, I always want more. I want new things to happen. I want to be excited, man. I want to have that fire inside of me. So when I told some people around me that I canceled my apartment without having a new place yet, a lot of people called me crazy. They looked at me strange. They're like, what the fuck? But sometimes, guys, sometimes you have a feeling, man. And you might not have that feeling because you don't know what it's like if you've never done that, if you've never really taken a leap. But I kind of know what that feeling is like, and that is this feeling of comfort where everything is kind of stable. And in that comfort zone, there is no growth. You know, nothing really happens. Everything stays the same. And like for me, like I'm not saying that it's the best way to live or whatever, but I do know that, you know, when you have like a real like a passion and then something you're so excited about. Like going through life is so much more fun, man, and that always requires taking these steps where things can go wrong, and you can fail, and you can, you know, like when you go to a new place where you don't know anybody, or you take that step, that can be very frightening, you know. But at the end of the day, it's always going to be fine, and that's what you got to keep in mind. You know, shit can be scary, etc. But when you throw yourself in the deep, and when you get out of that comfort zone, that is where the growth really happens, you know. And life is like a book, man. It has a lot of different chapters, and if things always like if stay the same, and you really follow this path of like, you know, yeah, I'm doing this because I'm supposed to, and this is what I learned when I was young. You know, I go through this step first, I do this, then I do that study, then I get a job, and like it doesn't always have to be in this certain order, you know. I really think that it's a good idea. And especially now in the age that we live in, it's much easier to travel than it was, you know, many years ago. If you didn't have the money and the resources, you know, that could be very difficult. I think now more people have that opportunity than ever. So if you do have that opportunity, as I said like earlier, I was very lucky to have that opportunity, for example, to go to the States. Many other people had that opportunity too, but they didn't take it because they didn't, you know, they didn't want to like take that step, take that leap, because it is scary. You know, but I'm telling you guys, like if you have such an opportunity, or if you don't, create that fucking opportunity, but do it, you know, do something different, do something that your future self will thank you for. Step out of that comfort zone, man. Try something new, and I promise you guys, that is the way to live life and make mad steps. You know, life is like a book. There are many different chapters, and you're the one who writes it. All right. So what's your next chapter?